So after month 1 on Zepbound, I dropped 20 pounds, the fastest weight loss of my life. But months 2 and 3, that's where the real test happened. I titrated up, added exercises, navigated birthdays and concerts, and I still lost another 30 pounds. Today, I'm showing you exactly what changed and what stayed the same. So if you're on a GLP-1 weight loss journey, or you're thinking about getting started and don't want to risk stalling, stick around. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris, and welcome to the channel where we talk all things GLP-1, weight loss, and lifestyle changes to live a happier and healthier life. So recapping month 3 now. So month 2 and 3. I already talked about month 1 in this video right here. If you hadn't already seen that, you may want to go check that out. To get into it, we're going to go ahead and recap a little bit of what happened in my first month on a GLP-1 and kind of bring you up to date of where we are now. So to kick things off, of course, I started out at 377 pounds, which even now is still a little embarrassing to admit, but it is what it is. So 377 pounds, I got on GLP-1, I was prescribed Zepbound, and I started off at 2.5 milligrams. From there, I did not introduce any exercises or anything new. I was already tracking my food. I was already doing my diet, and I just kind of migrated those things into this GLP-1 weight loss journey with the assistance of the GLP-1. Changing the eating habits, again, is something I already did. I just kind of migrated that into this program, this project, this journey of GLP-1 weight loss, and I continue to use the apps that I was using. I made this video the other day. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I go into a lot more depth about which apps I use, which ones I recommend, and how to use them to better track the process and your progress on this GLP-1 journey. So after losing 20 pounds my first month, I go back for a follow-up visit, and we decide between myself and my doctor to go ahead and titrate up to 5 milligrams of Zepbound, which, again, before you titrate up or before you start anything, do make sure you talk to your doctor. Again, not a doctor. And from there, I was basically maintaining the same diet and eating habits that I had created back in month 1 because, well, they were working, so no need to change them, right? The only thing I did different was I introduced exercise into my routine. With all that being said, I was able to lose another 30 pounds, bringing me down to a total of 50 pounds down in my first 3 months. So let's talk about side effects. We talked in another video about the effects, the good and the bad and the ugly of the GLP-1s, and of course not losing weight in general. And so you may be wondering, you got out of your first month, you're going into month 2, month 3, what kind of side effects did you experience? None. Not even any sulfur burps. Nothing. I was very, very fortunate. Not everyone is. That's it for side effects. Moving on. So what was I eating? I basically stuck to the same kind of diet that I was on before, same habits that I had built up. In fact, I'll throw some of the meals up here. I'll scroll them or something. I don't know, instead of me just sharing all that with you. But I stuck to the same kind of stuff that I was doing before because it was working. I maintained my focus on protein. I was doing about 0.8 grams per pound of ideal body weight, which, again, I said in another video that 0.8 grams to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight is kind of the recommended dosage there, especially if you're building muscle or at least trying to maintain your muscle. But especially if you're building muscle, a lot of people err on the side more of the 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. That's a little high for me. 0.8 was even pushing it for me to get it all in. But over time, I have learned how to get more protein into my diet without going over my calories. So I basically, again, maintained the same kind of diet and ate the same kind of stuff for quite a while. During these 2 months, I had my birthday. And just like any birthday, we don't really do anything big or major, but I do like to go out to eat because I am the cook of the house. So it's nice to go out and have somebody else cook for me and not expect my wife to do it. So we actually went to Longhorn Steakhouse. I wanted a good steak, and I wanted to look at some options that would work within my diet because I knew a steak would. What else could I get? So prior to going, I did look up the menu and probably spent about 2 days doing this because, again, if I'm not meal prepping, I'm definitely meal planning. And we're going to do a video on that, talking about the difference between the two and the importance of doing one or both, of course. But I definitely meal plan. So I looked ahead of time at the menu, what they offered, what I could get, what was going to work into my calories and my macros. And I even got a dessert. It was great. And that week, I lost over 5 pounds during the week of my birthday, even going out to eat Longhorn and having some dessert. So another oddity and once in a lifetime kind of thing that happened during this 2-month period was We took our daughter to her very first concert up in the big city of Atlanta. We went and saw a K-pop group called Stray Kids. It's her favorite. If you guys know who that is, let me know in the comments down below. She introduced me to K-pop. It's not something that I brought her into. She brought us into that. And we just had a great, great time. It was amazing to see her light up like that, seeing her favorite band for her first concert. And I don't know if you guys go to concerts much or what kind of concerts you've gone to. I've gone to all kinds of concerts. I've never seen anything like this. That K-pop crowd, the Stray Kids, I don't know what it is. I guess it's the K-pop. That was wild. I've never seen so many people at one time at a concert like that. So what an experience. But again, we went out of town for that. We went up to the big city of Atlanta and we took advantage of that because they obviously have things to do and places to eat up there that we don't down here. So while up there, we planned to go to the Cheesecake Factory, which again, we don't have one around here. And this was probably only my third time ever going to the Cheesecake Factory. It was the first time our daughter was going, of course. And I wanted to make sure we had a good time and enjoyed it. And we all looked at the menus ahead of time. And just like with Longhorn, I plugged all my stuff into my calorie counter app, figured it all out. I knew what I could eat, even including a dessert. I didn't get it because nobody else wanted any dessert. And I didn't want to be that guy. So I was even more so on a calorie deficit that day, plus all the walking and everything, and even the sweating from being out there during the summertime at the where the Atlanta Braves play in Atlanta. We were there watching the concert, sweating, walking around. It was nuts. And like I said, even more on a calorie deficit. So that was another good week. I do think I only lost about a pound that week. I guess various other things come into play there. But yeah, it was still a good week. The needle was moving in the right direction, right? So the big change this go around was I added exercise into my routine. Okay. So I started going 2 days a week. That's all I wanted to do right at the beginning. The first month, I just collected data points of how my weight would be affected, how my mood would be affected, all the different effects and everything from the medication with just doing the medication and nothing else. Month 2, I said, okay, time to introduce another variable, which is going to be exercising. So I added the exercises in starting month 2 and continuing on. And again, I didn't jump into it, head first and anything. I did 2 days a week going fairly hard, not harder than last time, not over the top hard, but getting in there and pushing those weights, lifting those weights, doing my thing, to a comfort level or a little bit beyond. A couple of reasons for that is I've heard that if you do too much too quickly with the amount of weight loss that you're experiencing, plus trying to burn more calories with going to the gym, your body can naturally react and say, you know what, you're losing too much too quick. Let me shut this down. And the fastest way it can shut down is to start burning more muscle than fat, because the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism, the more energy expenditure you use. So if it can eliminate more of your muscle, you won't actually burn as many calories as you would with that muscle on you. So again, I don't know how accurate that is, but my understanding about how the human body works and that element of it as well, it's quite possible. And I didn't want to risk losing more muscle as I wanted to maintain and or build off of what I already had. I obviously knew going in I was going to go harder eventually. I was going to go more eventually. But again, I didn't want to overdo it right off the bat. If you start doing something and you hate it and you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. Whether it be the GLP-1 journey in general, whether it be videos like this where you got to start editing them and lighting and doing all this and that. If it becomes a chore and it loses its fun, you're not going to stick with it. You're not going to do it. So I had to go to the gym in a way that I was going to ease into it, enjoy it, and continue to go back, as opposed to running myself off like a lot of people tend to do. But as you guys know, something always happens. It does to me. I'm sure it does to you, right? The week before, I knew I was going to start going to the gym my second month. The week before, I helped my best friend move. And when we did that, we were carrying stuff, moving stuff, breaking things down, putting them back together again. And I'll say none of that messed me up at all, except for one thing. The up and down the stairs we constantly had to do. Look, guys, if you're over 40 and you're moving, call your buddies, but not to help you move, to chip in for some movers because we're too old. All right, just no. So I told him next time I ain't helping no more. All right, you're on your own, bud. But I'll contribute to some movers for you. But After I helped him move, about a day or two later, my knee swole up. It started hurting. I know I didn't hit it or anything, but then it started bruising up on me. It felt like one of those squishy balls from gym class, not the hard dodgeball ones, but the soft, squishy Nerf kind of balls or whatever. It was not a good feeling. So I knew it was going to get better with time. I just overdid it, or I can go see a doctor, which I didn't do because I am stubborn, but I knew I still wanted to go to the gym. So I had a dilemma. Do I put off going to the gym until I feel better and then I can go and do my thing? Or do I still go and figure something out? Well, spoiler, I figured it out. Here's what I did. I just wanted to get in the door. I just wanted to get that ball rolling. I wanted to get the new data points. I wanted to show myself that I could do it. So what I did was I jumped on the machines, and it's a section of Crunch Fitness. I go to Crunch Fitness. There's a row. It's a circuit called the Power Half Hour or the Half Hour Power. I forget. But it's a row of machines that does a full body workout. Each machine hits a different part. So all I did is I skipped all the lower body stuff. I didn't do any of the lower body stuff. I didn't want to push myself too far and hurt myself too much, or where I couldn't go in or walk or whatever and do my normal daily life stuff. So I skipped lower body for about 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. I can't remember. But I did all the upper body stuff and I had a great time. And of course, this was before I started using the Muscle Wiki app that I use now. But I did, as you can imagine, as a nerd, I did track it. So I had a spreadsheet and I plugged everything in, all the workouts that I did, the amount of weight, the amount of reps, etc. And I compared week to week to week. And it let me know if I was getting stronger or not. And that is something you want to do if you're building muscle. And that's definitely something I wanted to do, and something that, well, it worked. I got stronger. I got a little bit bigger in certain places, and I loved it. But again, I wasn't going super, super hard yet. I was just wanting to make minor adjustments and minor improvements as I'm just getting into it. Again, the GLP-1 journey, weight loss journey in general, is not a race. It's a marathon, right? It's long term.
What?
I guess that is a race, but it's not a sprint. Okay. So I know I'm losing a lot of weight right off the bat. That will slow eventually, but I didn't want to lose advantage of having this miracle medication that can help me. But at the same time, I didn't want to mess myself up to where I was going to shut down or not be successful later on. So I kind of eased into certain things, exercising being one of them. So what do the results look like? Now, you already know that I lost 50 pounds. So 30 pounds during month 2 and 3. I'll break it down for you a little bit like this. I'm going to look at my notes. So again, I apologize. But of course, I started the journey at 377 pounds again. Embarrassing to say, don't love it. I was down to 356.2 after the first month. And that's an average loss of just over 5 pounds per week. And then after month 3 of losing the additional 30 pounds, I was down to 326.2. So you can give me that point for it, right? Almost 30 pounds there. So that was an average weight loss of over 3.5 pounds per week. So you see from month 1 to an average of 2 and 3, it's slowed down already there. And it's going to even more over time. Here's the thing. With this, you're oftentimes going to see the biggest weight loss in the beginning. Number 1, you're starting on a GLP that's going to do its magic. If it works for you. A lot of people are not unresponsive or non-responsive or whatever you want to call it on the 2.5. Or if you're doing a semaglutide, the 0.25, whatever. That entry dose may not be enough for you. And you may need to get on that second titrate up. And if you don't have to, don't do it. Stay where you are. I mean, again, not a doctor, but stay where you are as long as you can before you have to go up. That way you don't run through all the different doses and you got nowhere to go when it quits working for you. You gotta, again, it's a tool. You still got to do the work. So figure it out and start, really leaning into the lessons that your body is trying to teach you while on this medication. But another reason you're going to lose a lot of weight right off the bat is if you're adjusting your diet. One of the things that everybody does is they cut out carbs. Now, you're either cutting out carbs or you're cutting down on the amount of carbs that you have. Now, for me, I did not want to cut out carbs. Carbs are energy. Okay. I know it's all energy. Don't get me wrong. But carbs are a great source of energy. Number 1. Number 2, carbs are good for your brain. And then carbohydrates, the hydrates part, those are good for your muscles, for the water retention in your muscles and throughout your body. I did not want to eliminate carbs. but I definitely did lower the amount of carbs I had and replace those calories with more protein so my body would react a little bit differently. And of course, I saw the weight drop, which a lot of that is going to be, you guessed it, water weight. So again, it doesn't matter where you started, where you are now, how fast you're getting there, how much none of that matters. Make the changes you got to make with the GLP-1 as a tool to help you get there. Okay, it's going to be you that has to do the work, but you have all these tools handy to help you. Take advantage of them and you'll do great things. I'm excited to see everybody's weight loss, everybody's journey. Go down in the comments. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what's going on. Keep me up to date. I want to know because I get excited about seeing you guys be successful because I get excited about my success on this journey as well. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Share it with me down below if you will as well. If you hadn't already, I do recommend checking out this video here. It is my first month on a GLP-1. I go into a little bit more detail there. This is a video right here. I'm going to talk about the tools, the apps that I use, and I also recommend them for you on a GLP-1. Guys, wherever you go, whatever you do, be awesome. Go out there and conquer the scale and never let the scale conquer you. We'll see you on the next one.